get in here, I'm going to service some reels. I'm not really hearing the grinding noise now, but I'm still going to tear it apart. See what's up. Welcome to the live stream. I can't even see that I have viewers in yet. I can only see that there's a like. But I'm just servicing some reels. I heard some grinding in the Fluger. Hey, mini bikester stunts. I'm servicing this guy because I'm hearing grinding in here. So I'm just going to tear this apart. I dunked this guy in the water quite a few times this season, so I'm going to tear that apart as well. But let's get into it. We're going to start with the Fluker, because the sword isn't as important right now, because I have a fly rod coming in, I think tomorrow, but I broke my old one. So, got the handle off so far. Gonna get the bail. Well, not the bail, the spool. We'll get the spool and drag system off. Sounds gritty. Just a little bit of grit in there. I don't know if it... Oh, there it goes. You could see the grease is kind of stained blackish. So I might re-grease that. Yeah, because it even gets black on my fingers. And then I'm going to take my little wrench here. I don't know if it'll fit. No, it won't. See where my other wrench is. I don't think this one's going to fit either. Little wrench there. Almost does, but not quite. Hi Aiden, how you doing today? But since I don't have... Well, you always gotta have grease in your reel, but I haven't serviced this since last year, which I'm kind of happy I am, because there's a piece of line that I got stuck in the panel there. Hi, I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. But I'm going to tear into the side plate. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. And then next I'm going to work on my fly reel. We just got to get this apart, make sure it's fine. See what's wrong with the gears. We're going to re-grease it since it's already apart. Thank you. I think I stripped the screw last time I took it apart. No, I apparently didn't. But now that I have all three of my side screws off, I could pop that metal guard out, set that aside. I could pop the side plate off. What's your question? Now the side plate's off. Full metal reel. See what happened? I got a bunch of line wrapped up in it. So I can pop that out. I'm sorry, but I don't just give random people moderator. I don't even have a moderator yet, but Right now, I'm not just giving random people moderator. Sorry about that. Grease is quite dirty in there. We have to block that hole so it doesn't try to focus on the hole. You can kind of see that. Grease is nasty. Definitely needs replaced. I don't even know what that is. We'll get this hole cleaned up. The main spine to it, I guess you could say. Honestly, isn't too bad, but my main fear of gears being stripped is no longer there, so that's a good thing. No screw strip there. Well, not screws, gears. My main gear sitting right there. There looks to be no defects to that gear either. We have to clean that up and put that back in as well. But I'm going to set the main bit of the body over there, clean this guy up, pull this little bearing, which are spacers in there. I don't want to lose those or break them. I didn't know there was spacers there. First time taking the bearing off. Little bearing there. Just clean this up. Get the old grease out, put the new grease in. If any of you guys fish in here in this live stream, I sometimes have a lot of people that just come in here that don't fish, just watch random things, which I do the same. I don't blame you. But if you fish, what is your favorite fish to target? What's the biggest fish you've caught? The comments should be on. Alright, what do you fish for? About to finish up on this main gear. Not much grease left on that. I'm gonna have to pull my grease off my peg up there. I just use Ozark Trail Oil and Grease Kit. It's pretty cheap at Walmart. I don't know what your guys' Walmarts are like, but mine has that. I'm gonna take my low bearing spacers. Put them back on there. Sweet. I don't have any bass that big. My personal largemouth is 5 pounds, and my personal smallmouth is bigger, but I don't have a picture of it, so I don't have proof, so I don't really count it as my PB. So my picture proof PB smallmouth is about 3 pounds, and I caught it out of the stream behind my house. That was a couple days ago, actually. No, a couple weeks ago. Same thing. Just drop my oil. Throwing my spool around. Thank you for joining the live. I'm just cleaning reels. I'm about to get onto my fly reel, but I'm on the re-greasing process of this reel. Gotta take your little container of grease. Got this little finger thing here. Scoop up your grease. Just apply it in those gears. You don't want to over grease it. That's probably still a little too much grease. I'm going to give it a good spin, get that gear moving around a little bit. And then I'm going to grab my main gear here. Just apply grease to this. Gotta get this positioned correctly. I could just rub it in with my fingers. And then rub around the bearing a little bit. I got that main gear greased. I can now just put it in there, like so. Now when this thing spins, it moves that main gear. And then I could use that to get my grease moving around. But now that that's done, I could take my side plate, put it back on there. Which my hands are very greasy, so I'm going to have to clean this thing up. Got the side plate back on. And then I could take my metal guard, slide that on, take my first screw, put it down where the metal guard is so I no longer have to worry about losing the metal guard. Screw that in there. I don't want to strip this out, so I have to give more pressure. First screw's done. I have 2 more screws on the main body. I gotta put my gears back in the top, which I need to re-grease those top gears as well. Slide them on, which I don't think I'm gonna grease them. I think I'm just gonna oil them this time. Which I think I just stripped a screw a little bit, but that's okay. Long if I could still get back into the side plate later. There's my final screw. Side plate is on. Now I'm gonna take my gears that belong up on that pin on the top. I take those, rub them on my rag, get the old grease out. And then I'm gonna go ahead, put my new grease in. Slide this guy on. Get my oil. So not my grease, my oil. Get that little dropper. I'll put a little bit at the base there. And then I'll take my little plastic piece. I don't get the point of that. And I'll put a little bit of oil on top of that. Oh, there's my spool. I'll take my spool, put that guy back on, put a little bit of grease on that drag plate on the top. Little drag plate. And then I guess you could say drag selector or drag knob, or clean the top of that off. Just put some new oil in there. Get all over that seal there. Just screw it back on. Still sounds a little gritty, but this isn't like a full maintenance thing quite yet. I'm gonna have to set the drag later. But there's most of that reel done. Now I could take my little side plate there, side cover, screw that on. And since it's a Pflueger, it has a screw instead of like on the handle, instead of one of the ones that you have to take the other cap and screw it into the handle. I could just screw it in. This cork handle is also not normal for this reel either. I spent an additional $20 to get that little cork handle there. Need to clean up my hands a little bit before I grab my rod. But this is the rod I have for the Pflueger. It's a little custom that I just got. I didn't have it custom made. I won a raffle in a bait shop, which I'm very lucky for that. And I could just put the reel back on. Looks great on this rod. Now I'm gonna move on to the easier side of things and get to the Piscifun sort. My fly reel, which is obviously not that smooth right now because I have a leader kind of gunking up everything in there. But all you got for this is that little side screw there. Eventually you get tension. Just keep unscrewing, which I don't even think that comes off. Yeah, it's a piece of the side plate, and just pop the spool off. Yeah, I have rocks and stuff inside the actual spool. And then this is looking kind of milky. So it's a good sign that's not trashed in here. Oh great, I got a crankbait stuck on my rag. But it's a good sign that it isn't trashed in said reel, but I could take it, just clean off the spine quick. Spine piece. Now it doesn't look milky from the kind of junk grease that they have in this. Now I could just take that, probably take my screwdriver here and get some of that grease out of the inside of the bearing. I can hear it kind of cleaning it up. Which now my leader's coming off, so this is going to be a lot bigger mess than I anticipated. But I'll just give that a quick wrap around. And then back to grease. Grab my little grease thing. I'll just take it, grab the grease with my finger. I'll rub it around that bearing. I just put a glob on the inside, which I'm just going to end up using my finger to get it straight out of here. I'll stick another glob in there. And then for the spine piece, I'm not going to have to do a whole lot for that. Take another little glob, real small glob for that one, and just get it around that O-ring pretty much. And there's the fly reel re-greased already. Pop that back in. All I got to do now is screw it back in. I got fly line stuck on the inside. There we go. Feels smooth again. I'm going to take my little screwdriver and rag again. Clean out my handle. It's quite nasty. And then, to get my handle in good working order, put a little bit of grease in there. Just rotate that around. Now, all my reels are done. Simple as that. Nothing was wrong with the Pflueger. This just needed a quick re-grease. My sword. Pissy fun sword. Thank you for everyone that joined the live. Thank you for the likes. And I can't see right now, but if anyone subscribed, thank you for that too. And have a great night, guys.